Immersed Robot.
Hello everyone, welcome to Immersed Robot again. So in this video I just wanted to talk very quickly about the current state of the channel and the future direction I want to take it in. It won't be a very long video because there's not too much to say really, but while I talk about this I will be showing some footage of No Man's Sky. This is some footage that I played earlier today. It's pre-Frontiers update, but I did want to check back in with this game before the update dropped because it's been quite a long time since I've actually played it seriously. I've jumped in and out for an hour or so over the past few months, but I've really not played it in any serious way, and you'll see that in this footage actually. I'm sort of relearning a lot of stuff and I'm sort of muddling through in this video, just trying to find my feet in the game again, but it's something I wanted to check out before the Frontiers update dropped, which will hopefully be soon. It might even be out by the time this video is published, I'm not too sure, but I will be checking that out when it does come out anyway. But first of all, before I get into anything else, I do want to thank everybody that has subscribed to the channel. I have hit that 1,000 subscriber threshold. It's sort of one of the main milestones for me that I wanted to get to, and it's great to finally get there. And of course it's all thanks to the people that have subscribed so far to the channel, so very much appreciated on that front. But it's also an opportunity to sort of take stock of the channel and think about things, where things are going right, where things are going wrong with the channel. And overall, personally, I want to keep things relatively the same as I am doing at the moment. It's sort of manageable for me. Again, as I mentioned in my last channel update, this is a hobby and I want to keep it as a hobby, and I want to keep things very manageable on the channel. I aim for around 2 videos a week to be published, which is sort of sustainable for me, and it fits in quite well with other things that I do in my life. And occasionally it might be 3 videos in one week and then 1 video in the following week, but on average I want to try to maintain that 2 videos per week. And as I say, most things I think will remain the same, but I would like to hear some comments from viewers on this. If there's anything that they think I'm not covering enough of on the channel, or something that they'd like to see a little bit more of that I cover, then that would be appreciated if you let me know about that. Either leave a comment in this video or send me an email. Either way, it doesn't matter. And again, because I want to keep this thing manageable, there will be no promises. I won't necessarily agree to make more videos of one type and less of another or anything like that, but it's always good to hear some feedback on what I'm doing right with the channel and what I'm doing wrong with the channel. So if you want to leave a comment, please do that. But for me, generally, things will continue. I'm just making videos on things that I am personally finding interesting. And really, regarding that, videos with Elite Dangerous, No Man's Sky, Microsoft Flight Simulator, they will all continue as usual. Whenever there's something interesting for me to comment on or to show people, then I'll make videos on those all the time, because they are sort of my staple games. They are the games that I go back to again and again. Performance tests on this channel as well, they've probably dropped off a little bit, mainly because I'm running out of games to actually do performance tests on. I think I've done most of the big hitters, but I do continue to take suggestions on that, and there is something that I'll get to a little bit later on in this video. It's not always possible for me to do performance tests on games that I don't necessarily own at the moment, but I do my best on that, and I will get to that in a moment. I've also featured a few smaller games on this channel as well, a few of the sort of indie Oculus Quest kind of games, Puzzle Bobble, VR, those kinds of things. And although I enjoy doing those, I don't really see that being a main part of this channel. It's not really what I focus on doing, those smaller indie type of games really. And I don't generally request game keys anymore. I did for a while, and it sort of forced me down this line of then making a video on these games, and if it wasn't necessarily what I found interesting or anything like that, then it was a bit of a undertaking, and it's not something I want to continue with. I will continue to request keys for games that I know I am going to find specifically interesting to me, but I won't do a general sort of key sweep, and I won't necessarily accept every game key that comes my way in future, because I want to keep this channel with just things that I am interested in personally. So that's really what I want to do with this. I would also like to focus a little bit more on hardware, both in terms of VR headsets, peripherals and things like that. Also AR hardware is something I'm interested in. I recently published a Magic Leap 1 video which I found very interesting to do, and also I want to continue along those lines really with VR hardware, because that's probably more of what I am specifically interested in. It's also probably a little bit harder to cover because of course I have to pick up all of these hardware devices which can be quite expensive. So it might be few and far between to begin with, but that's something I would like to transition over to if possible, while also maintaining the software side and the sort of the performance aspects of the software side of VR as well. I was also considering doing perhaps some more casual videos where I just play a game while talking about some news stories or something like that. You know, just 5, 10, 15 minute videos where I talk about the latest news story while playing a game. I don't know if people will be interested in that. It's just something that I think I could sustain quite easily because, again, it's probably quite an easy form of content to make overall, and I can relax with the game while I talk about some news stories as well. So if that's something you want to see, then let me know. I would also like to integrate with the community a little bit more as well. I do have a Discord. The link is always in the description to my videos. I don't really comment on Discord. I'm not really that much of a Discord user, if truth be told, but you know, the more people that join that Discord, it would be appreciated. And of course, then as the conversation starts to develop on there, of course, then I'll join in and I'll try to do my bit on Discord as much as I can. It's not really a focus of mine at the moment, but that could change in the future. So again, if people want to join the Discord and start some discussions on there, then go ahead. The link is in the description to this video. Something else I was considering is perhaps some live streams on the channel, just very short, you know, 30-minute live streams every now and again. I'm not too sure what form that would take. I certainly don't want to do live streams on games or anything like that. That's not really what I want to do. Perhaps some kind of live streams, again, sort of 30-minute takes on the latest news stories or something like that every couple of weeks, depending on how much news is breaking at that time. These are all just general thoughts that I'm having. Nothing is set in stone at the moment and nothing might come of it. It's just an idea that I thought might be interesting to some people. And the final idea I had in terms of doing some different kinds of videos is also perhaps some interviews with people. Now, I'm not too sure what kinds of people I want to interview on the channel, but again, these will be very short pre-recorded interviews where I would just have a little discussion with people just to get their takes on certain things. And again, I'm not sure who that would be. I'm looking into various avenues with that, but again, let me know if that's something you'd be interested in seeing on the channel too. So that's just a few of my own thoughts on this. Generally, things won't change on the channel, but there are a few ideas that I've had rolling around my mind for a while, and I just thought I'd share those with you for anybody that thinks any of those will be interesting to see. Just add a little bit more variety to the channel in terms of the types of videos I produce, and just mixing things up a little bit too, perhaps. So yeah, that's the general idea. I do want to quickly talk about some ways that you can support the channel if you want to do that. The main one, some people might have seen the advert for my science fiction book. It's a VR focused book called The Memory Engine, and I play an ad at the end of some videos. Probably every 2 or 3 videos you'll see this Memory Engine ad that I play. But that's a great way to support the channel. It's on Amazon. You can pick it up as a Kindle ebook or a paperback, and it's also on Audible as an audiobook as well. So there's a variety of ways that you can get it. Again, all the links for everything that I'm mentioning here will be in the description to this video and every other video that I do. So that would be a great way to support the channel. Another way is Patreon, actually. So I do have a Patreon, and again, I've started to show some little ads for this at the end of some videos too. Now, at the moment, I've got one supporter on Patreon. I'm very proud to have that supporter on Patreon as well. It's something that does keep me motivated, because you think if somebody is giving their hard-earned cash to you for no reason other than to support the channel, it does keep you motivated in producing content. And that's one of the things that is the value of Patreon in my mind too. And I can actually pick out a specific example of a video that would not have been made without that support on Patreon, and that is the Valheim video, where it was a VR mod came out for Valheim, and I didn't own the game, but I was interested to try the mod. However, I didn't think I would continue playing the game afterwards, so I was in two minds whether to pick it up. But then I considered that I did have this recent supporter on Patreon, and that's exactly what this money should be used for. So I picked up Valheim, I installed the mod, and I made a video on it just to show this. And I thought, you know, that's one of the examples where Patreon has helped the channel. And of course, you know, the more Patreon supporters I get with regards to that, all of that money will really go towards videos that people want me to cover. I can't envision a time where I will have excess money beyond that. But just, you know, if anybody wants to help support the channel, then that's a great way to do it. There won't really be anything locked behind Patreon. I want to make that clear. I've got no plans to do that. Never say never, but at the moment there's no plans to lock any content at all behind Patreon. It's just a way to show support for the channel if you want to do it in that way. And also, for anybody that doesn't know, I used to be on a podcast called VR Roundtable for 3 years. That ran between 2016 and 2019, and that VR Roundtable channel is still live. You can still go on and see all the old episodes that we did. It was a weekly VR focused podcast, and it was a great time. I really enjoyed doing that. I did want to just quickly mention that. But additionally to that, I am also involved in the Next Dimension podcast, which runs on Sebastian Ang's MRTV channel. It's once a week. It's on Saturdays at 8 PM UK time. I generally appear on that podcast probably once every 2 or 3 weeks, so you can catch me on there from time to time, but it's always worth watching. It's always got some great guests on there as well. If you're interested in just general VR discussion for a couple of hours on a Saturday evening, then I do highly recommend that. Again, the link is in the description to this video. Just before I go, I do quickly want to mention as well that I'm away this weekend, and then next week I am a little bit busy, so it might be a little bit quiet on videos next week, but I'll do my best, and who knows, if the No Man's Sky update drops next week, then I will do my very best to get an impressions video out on that as well, because that's something I definitely do want to try close to the launch of that update. But that's pretty much it, just a few rambling thoughts there about the channel and just a few updates, some ideas and things like that. So let me know in comments what you think and where you want me to focus my efforts and stuff like that. That's always appreciated. But that's it. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.